Hello. I am getting set up still just a little bit. I have to do things a little differently than I anticipated, so sorry for the delay. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm Sophie, and I'm going to make this live in just 1 second. Sorry, I'm being weird. This is today in the Fourth Reich, and we're going to be giving you some headlines from the future because I live in the UK, thank goodness. And so I'm going to be kind of switching back and forth. So just forgive me 1 second. Let me get going on TikTok. I have to do it a little differently than I intended. That's all right. Alrighty. All right. So getting going there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Today in the Fourth Reich. I'm so sorry my attention is going to be diverted today. I'm um, having to go from my phone on TikTok and then on my computer for everywhere else. Tomorrow it should be a lot better, but for today, let's just get going. Um, Very sorry I'm not going to have visuals for you on TikTok, but if you're on YouTube or Rumble or Twitch or wherever else I'm going out, kick, welcome, hi, and let's jump into the news that's going to be important today. So just for a quick overview, I am Sophie of standwithsophie.com, where I provide survival guides, live trainings, secure comms, and so much more. Because I was fortunate enough to escape in the United States. But since I live in the UK now, I'm 5 hours into the future if you happen to still be stuck in America. So this means that I can most accurately share the news that you can expect to matter today, and I can't be disappeared for doing it. So today in the Fourth Reich is marks day 105 that a black woman, Adriana Smith, has been used as a human incubator for her baby. This is her. If you're on YouTube or wherever, you can probably see her picture. Unfortunately, if you're on TikTok, you can't see her beautiful, beautiful picture. She's a gorgeous woman. Um, Here's her with her little boy. So unfortunately, she woke up at 9 weeks pregnant next to her boyfriend, gurgling, and was declared brain dead. And because of Georgia's really, really antiquated anti-abortion laws or forced birth laws, they are using her as a human incubator. And again, we're on day 105 of this. So it's absolutely horrible. I just wanted to give an update on her. And we're also on day 80 of the people who were sent to El Salvador. That situation is still ongoing. So we have Kilmar Abrego Garcia, as we know, the Maryland father who was sent to CCOT, who apparently Trump thinks is an MS-13 because of a photoshopped tattoos, or trying to explain his tattoos, and he took it to be the actual MS-13 tattooed on his hand. Thing about that though is even if he is an MS-13, they're not declared a Venezuelan. Even Trinidad and Tobago were not declared Venezuelan gangs, so they don't fit or qualify in the Alien Enemies Act to have been deported anyway. So it's not like you can, suddenly you're in a gang and you're, rife to be, or fodder to be kicked out of the country. That's ridiculous. So again, these cases all always just go back to due process, habeas corpus, and that's really the crux of the issue here. So I don't care if he was a gang member; it's absolutely stupid. Billy says he's not there anymore. Yeah, I saw that he got transferred to a lower, like a lower security prison. So I don't think he's at CCOT, but still, it's just kind of sad how he's still in El Salvador, the one specific place that he was supposed to have asylum from being sent back to. We also have Andre Hernandez Romero, who is a gay makeup artist who was sent as well on March 15th. So both of them have been spending the last 80 days of their life for no reason in El Salvador. So that's just unfortunate. And then we have some updates on that. So a judge recently dismissed Andre Jose Hernandez Romero's asylum case, and so that's basically aiding in his disappearing or in them disappearing him. So what they did with these people is they actually did a process called renditioning. So people are like, oh, they kidnapped them there, they deported them there. They actually renditioned them. And that's basically when you send um, a prisoner or a suspect to a different country or location or state so that they can basically be subject to torture and all kinds of other things that are outside of the laws or systems from the original plays. Um, yeah, he was I'm sorry, he was a gay hairstylist. Thank you, Billy. You guys, be sure to knock out all the free things you can do. If you don't feel like joining my team or giving a gift, make sure you're tapping and sharing and following so we can, again, just get the news that might be important today out to people. The reason I really want to keep my eye on this case and just the sort of things that are going on about it are because, I'm trying to follow the path of how we got to here. And, we're right along the lines of it. It's kind of sad how people don't seem to realize that Auschwitz wasn't in Germany. That shit is in Poland. So if we're doing the exact same things of sending people to different countries to maximum security detention centers that allow for the torture and disappearing of these people, how are we not on the exact same pathway of this person? I mean, I feel like we're only saved by the grace of his stupidity. I think if he was a smarter person, we would have had our democracy crash in 53 days like this guy did. I guess we're lucky in that regard. We'll see. The first camp was in Germany before, they invaded Poland. Yeah, there were more than just Auschwitz. There were plenty of detention camps, and they even had like ghettos set up for a lot of the Jews and gay people and black people and people they didn't like, and they murdered them there as well. So let's see. Thankfully, Democrats won't be able to win another presidency unless they lose the left completely. Yeah, I don't see it either. I really don't. I think Democrats are done. I think they're out of here. I think we're all out of here. I don't think there's going to be another election. People are like, "Oh, Trump's doing all this stuff and he's going to, shoot himself in the foot for his political chances for the midterms for, for him to maintain the Senate and the House." There's not going to be any midterms. There's not going to be any midterms. I said it yesterday, like record me saying this. I absolutely hope that I'm wrong, but I just don't understand how we don't see the pattern, how we don't see the lockstep that we're in with this guy. And one of the first things he did was cancel elections. And so yeah, I'm not thinking we're gonna have midterms at all, but I hope I'm wrong. Prove me wrong. I mean, again, I hope, I don't know if you can see, I hope Trump, I hope Trump is the man that MAGA thinks he is. I hope he can turn things around. I hope he starts to listen to people. Um, I don't see it. I mean, again, we see not only this history of H-Man, but we see his history. We've been here before, so we know that the guardrails that he had before are absolutely gone. So it's pretty terrible. Midterms are predicted to be red. There's just not going to be any midterms. The freak out of the left is the gift that just keeps on giving by Nunya Business. Nunya, like, I guess I'm always curious to know, like, why you are happy to suffer so long as others are suffering a little bit more. That just doesn't seem to make very much sense to me. But let's move on. Again, I'm Sophie of standwithsophie.com. I have survival guides and live trainings and iPhone and phone shortcuts and all kind of things that help us do set it and forget it survival. So if you're interested, go to standwithsophie.com. Make sure you follow me, do some tapping. Thanks for all the comments, even if they're a little bit weird. I appreciate the engagement that helps with my internet points. So thank you so much. So we talked a little bit about what's going on with Kilmar Abrego Garcia and Andre Hernandez Romero, but let's keep on talking about the news of the day. Because again, I live in the UK. I escaped, thank goodness. And so I'm 5 hours into America's future. So I'm just here to report from the future the news that might be important or that might matter today for you guys. And again, just showing how every single headline is literally us being right in lockstep with history, unfortunately. So moving on, speaking of immigration issues, today, was it today? Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday, ICE arrested a high school student, an 18-year-old, right before. Okay, what is not? That's really weird. Okay, let me pop this up a little higher so you can't see my baby. All right, I think TikTok's like, you have a underage person's. Sorry about that. Um, yeah. So anyway, they arrested an 18-year-old. So not a criminal. He'd been here since he was 6. He was about to graduate. Everybody loved him. So how is this us getting the criminals and murderers and stuff out? I absolutely think that's ridiculous. So just yet another campaign promise that was broken. And let's see. Looks like all it says all illegals are going home. But that's the thing, they're not sending them home. They're renditioning them to places that they're not even from. So it's absolutely insane to me. Um, let's see. I'm missing some comments, I'm sorry, from I'm on Rumble and Instagram and literally everywhere. Twitch, Kick. So just trying to make sure, again, on locals, that I'm not just trying to talk to left wingers and stuff, but also want to hear from MAGA and right wing folks. Go to your home. I refuse. I left America. I'm in the UK. So again, I'm 5 hours into the future. I refuse to go back home. I need to go back home soon because I miss my family, but you know, I have to be very well prepared for that. Like I got a burner phone. I'm traveling light, so we'll see how that goes. I'll probably do some live streaming when I do all that. Um, but yeah, moving on in the news as well, we had the Colorado situation where there was anti-Semitic fire bombings. I don't know what we can say or not. Um, in Boulder against a group that was called Run for Their Lives, who met regularly to hold vigil for some of the hostages that were taken during October 7th. And that is, I think, setting off this sort of red flag for me that there's a lot of usage of anti-Semitism as a red herring or as a Trojan horse for Trump and his administration to not only go after Harvard, go after some of these law firms, but to really attack uh, free speech. So the party of free speech is using anti-Semitism to disappear people like the Columbia student, the tough student, um, what's her name, Ramesa Ozturk, and some of the other folks who've been um, basically pulled off the street or pulled out of their homes in front of their pregnant wives just for, talking about the situation that's going on. So it's really, really, it's pretty deplorable. And so, like, nobody wants to see Jewish people or Israeli people attacked at all. Like, nobody wants to see that. But you also have to understand, like, there are actual Jewish people who are saying, please don't use these things as a reason to stifle the free speech of others, or to uh, fail to realize that the situation in Gaza is abysmal. The way they're treating the Palestinians is horrendous. And speaking of which, let's see, there was a recent, yeah, there was a horrible situation. I'm trying to watch my mouth because every time I say his Ray hell, I get some dings. And so I don't want TikTok to kick me off again for another week like they did before. But yeah, the his Ray Hellies, have unalived at least 27 people, and this is the third day of these attacks on like the places where they're going to get aid. So they're not trying to target Hamas or the military installations or anything like that. They're literally going after citizens and people who have nothing to do with some of the things that happened on October 7th and whatever. It's devastating. I do appreciate that there are people who are trying to help, such as Greta Thunberg. She and Liam, oh, what is his name? I want to say Williamson. He's a Game of Thrones star. Liam Cunningham, excuse me. But they are both setting sail on a flotilla to try to get aid into Gaza. So they left from Sicily, and it's expected to be a 7-day journey. And I'll play a little bit for you about what happened when they tried to do that in May. So let's see.
A month after our latest attempt to go on with this mission, the boat was bombed twice. All evidence suggests Israel. And we are doing this because we have to keep our promise to the Palestinians to do everything in our power to protest against the genocide and to try to open up a humanitarian corridor. And we are doing this because no matter what odds we are against, we have to keep trying. Because the moment we stop trying is when we lose our humanity. And no matter how dangerous this mission is, it is nowhere near as dangerous as the silence of the entire world in the face of a live-stream genocide.
Very nervous about what the IDF...
No matter what, no matter the danger, it's not as dangerous as the silence of people watching a live streamed genocide. That is some powerful shit. And also, I really appreciate that she is, trying this again. They tried in May, and again, the whole front of their vessel was destroyed by drone strikes from, his Ray hell. And so the fact that they're not even letting these people come and help the Palestinians is nuts to me. And then we have Lindsey Graham, who tweeted, "Hope Greta and her friends can swim." Wow, wow, wow. Like, absolutely insane. I see you, Mighty. It's okay. Thanks for giving me some internet points. If you guys don't mind tapping and sharing and following, that'd be so great. But yeah, it's devastating. And then you have, again, people like South Carolina Congressperson Lindsey Graham saying, "Hope Greta and her friends can swim," on X, on Twitter. Like, it's absolutely insane. So the fact that, there's people trying to help, and then you still have these folks basically wishing and calling for them to be harmed is nuts. So again, this is yet another reason why I'm saying we are in the Fourth Reich, y'all. We are definitely following in the footsteps of authoritarianism, fascism, autocracy. kakistocracy, all the things, all the things, fascism, of course. So, moving on again, one of the things that I think is so crazy that happened recently is Trump just threw Leonard Leo of the Federalist Society under the bus. He on True Social said, um, the Federalist Society, he was using them because they recommended judges in his first term, and he did so. But then he realized that they were under the thumb of a real sleazebag, he has it in quotes, named Leonard Leo, a bad person who, in his own way, probably hates America and obviously has his own separate ambitions. Yo, this dude, I don't know if he realized this. I don't know if he realizes how dumb that was. Like he's being propped up. He's being propped up by all this silent money and these really powerful groups and people. It's literally like him going against the Heritage Foundation. It's it's crazy to me that he would say this. Like I know he's really getting mad at how the judiciary is treating him, but all of his cases, whether it's the tariff stuff, his immigration stuff, um, some of the lawsuits he has against some of these media companies, they're all working their way up to the Supreme Court. And everybody, just about everybody, especially the people that he had appointed onto the Supreme Court, are there because of the Federalist Society. So the fact that he's attacking the guy who runs that, Leonard Leo, is nuts to me. So we'll see how that pans out. I'd love to keep an eye on that story. Some other craziness that's happening in the administration. I don't know if you realize, like this guy, he was very much into the D-rugs, very much into the D-rugs. And so same goes for Elon Musk. You know, there's a huge New York Times article called or titled "On the Campaign Trail, Elon Musk Juggled Drugs and Family Drama," and that has blown up because it talks about his K use, special K use, and how that's made him lose control of his bladder, and how he walks around with a box of like Addy pills and all kind of stuff, and it's doing psychedelics and it's going crazy. And it's crazy to me because I'm an old woman. I'm an old mom. I am 42 and I didn't do any I didn't I wasn't like a teetotaler or anything, but I just didn't do anything until I was like 38 years old. So I got diagnosed with glaucoma and my doctor was like, "Well, you know, it actually helps." And I was like, "Well, okay, I'll give it a shot." And that was my first foray into the D-rugs, you know? And so like ever since then it's kind of opened my eyes to this whole new world that's really amazing. And I've done all the things and, you know, had my fun. And it just seems like Ellen is is one of those people who does something and and it becomes his whole life and he gets too into it, you know? And it's I don't know, so I just feel like he's that lame. He's that lame, you know, that he would let K, you know, control him in this. Like I've done that and it's amazing, but I don't understand how you can do that much or go to the point that you're actually losing control of your bladder. It's absolutely nuts to me. So it's just his lameness on display. I saw a reel somewhere where somebody said he's a billionaire, multi-billionaire, spent all this money on hair plugs and facelifts and whatever else to be like a four. So it's just sad. He's just this lame, sad old man with a barrel chest. Somebody said he has an autopsy chest. I get it. So it's just sad. You got these lame motherfuckers running the world, you know? And so I had a let's see, I don't know if I can play this. I was gonna show him at the him at the press conference on his exit of the White House because his whole special employership or whatever is done. And on TikTok you can't see it, but everywhere else you can see it. It's hilarious. Look at him. He's like looking at his face. It's showing him from 4 months ago at the inauguration, and then it's showing him now next to the president. He's just looking all stupid. It's so stupid.
Colombia wants to get to the bottom of the problem. They've acted very well. And there are other institutions too that are acting, but
This man is a fool.
a big shot.
Yeah, so we got Ellen up here. And the reason I'm showing it is because I want to show you the response that he had to that New York Times article when he was asked by a very sycophantic journalist in the press corps recently. And so listen to this when he's asked about that article.
You had to deal with all the slings.
And you saw, well, I'm sure you've seen if you're on TikTok somewhere, how off the rocker this dude absolutely was. Very, very inebriated. All right.
And arrows during your time at Doge. There's this.
Well, some of the people, some of the media organizations in this room were the slingers.
Well, so there is a New York Times report today that accuses you of blurring the line between.
Is the New York Times, is that the same publication that got a Pulitzer Prize for false reporting on the Russiagate? Is it the same organization?
I got to check my Pulitzer. My Pulitzer
I think
counter.
it is. It is. I think the judge just ruled against the New York Times for their lies about the Russiagate hoax, and that they might have to give back that Pulitzer Prize. That New York Times. Let's move on.
Okay, then next question. I got one for President.
Okay, yeah. So obviously high as a kite and still had the nerve to try and brush off the question about the New York Times article. So absolutely insane. Somebody said Republican not C's are going to not see until yes. Franco, please follow, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's absolutely insane. And so with the D-Rugs, I would love for you, I need to look it up at some point, but there's a video of this guy, of H-Man, at the Olympics, just high off his shit. Yo, it's the craziest thing you'll ever see. I have a guest wanting to come up. Let's see who that might be. You don't have enough information. I'm sorry. It just says user something something. But I appreciate you trying to join, sweetheart. But yeah, let's just keep going. Again, just to kind of preface, if you're just joining, I'm Sophie of standwithsophie.com. I have a website with survival guides and set it and forget it tips on how to just be ready in case things go down. So I'm here just delivering the news from the future because I live in the UK, so I'm 5 hours ahead of America. So just trying to let you know some of the headlines that would be, yeah, he was shaking at the Olympics. It was crazy. Oh, you thought it was an STD symptom? I mean, didn't he have he had some kind of issue, but no, that was definitely some kind of stimulant. But yeah, so that's me. I'm Sophie of standwithsophie.com, delivering news from the future. So just moving on. That's my last real headline to keep an eye on. Just the fact that who knows if anything will come of the investigatory journalism that the New York Times has done in regards to this man's drug usage. I don't know what's going to even happen. They obfuscate everything. They lie about everything. Even the fact that this man clearly had a black eye from who knows what. He tried to say that he told his 5-6-year-old son to punch him in the face, and that's why he has a black eye. like who's going to believe that? I have a 6-year-old. I don't understand how anybody would believe that that's how you would not only interact with your child, but that anybody would believe that. It's weird to me. It's weird to me. But if you're on YouTube or elsewhere or Kick or whatever, you can see this is my site, standwithsophie.com. Basically, if you sign up, you get access to, for free, my survival guide. And this is just a quick overview of some things that can help you get into the right mentality. Again, just for set it and forget itness. Like, we're not here to try to be alarmist and to say, oh, the world's going to end. But in case things happen, in case there's some kind of issue with internet or power or water, or if you're out and about and you're getting approached by people you don't know, like, there's just things to do. If you're traveling, there's ways to secure your phone. There's ways to have iPhone shortcuts set up. So, it's just a way to be ready so you don't have to get ready. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So this is my survival guide. And I also have in my full kit that if you do a paid plan, and if you want to support this work, then you can get printable action cards in multiple languages: Ukrainian, Spanish, Arabic. And I also have a ready-made iPhone shortcut. So if somebody does approach you and you can't use your phone, if you get pulled over or somebody comes to your house, you can just say your shortcut. It'll automatically send your location to your emergency contacts. It'll automatically start recording on your phone. You can set it, and I've got information to help you with all that. We do live trainings to help you make sure your phone is secure. You've got two-factor authentication everywhere you need to, that you can check to see if it's being forwarded to places you weren't sure of. So definitely let me know. We're also setting up a shop. I do have one-click shopping carts available where if you see a gear list you like, go and grab it. You can put everything in it. And I'm also setting up a shop and starting to get my TikTok shop together so I can directly make sure you have access to, like, a hand crank radio, some solar charging batteries, just things to keep, in case you want to go hiking one day and nothing happens. Great, you have some cool gear, walkie talkies, stuff like that, air tags, things that you'll need just to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. But yeah, so standwithsophie.com is that. But that's me. And I hope you'll check it out. I hope you'll follow here. I hope you'll keep tapping and clicking and sharing. Just to give a quick recap of all the headlines that are going to be important. Just scroll away from this human for real. Well, you know what? Thank you for recognizing me as a human. I really appreciate that. Because sometimes people don't even see you as a human being just because of the color of your skin or whatever it is, because you're a woman. So thank you. But yeah, just as a quick overview and a final recap of the news, I am Sophie of standwithsophie.com. I provide survival guides, live trainings, secure comms, and so much more because I was fortunate enough to escape the United States. Oh my gosh, thanks for joining my team. I really appreciate that. But since I live in the UK now, I am 5 hours into America's future. So if you still happen to be stuck there, so sorry. But hopefully I can give you accurate news that you can expect to matter today. And I can't be disappeared for doing it. So today in the Fourth Reich, unfortunately, marks day 105 that Adriana Smith is being used as a... All right. So sorry. Yep. Okay. All right. Sorry. Okay. Alrighty. I have 3 dogs and they suck. I don't know how to shut them up. They've literally been through training after training after training after. They're just old now, so that, nothing's going to work. But they have the collars that are supposed to make noise when they bark. Nothing works. So our mailman just came. Sorry about that. So let me recap it. I didn't ask for any of these dogs either. That's the funny thing. Like we had 4 at one point. We had a little Chihuahua, but he passed away. And yeah, so we got 3 dogs. I love them. I really do. But they suck sometimes. Sorry about that. You guys, you good? All right, they're good. So hi, again, I'm Sophie of originally sexwithsophie.com. But I've retooled and now we're doing standwithsophie.com. I just think the moment is too important. We have to recognize that the constitutional crisis has happened, and again, we need to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. So I have survival guides, live trainings, secure comms, so much more, because I was able to escape the United States. I'm 5 hours into America's future, and so that's why I'm sharing the news that you can expect to matter today, and I can't be disappeared for doing so. So today in the Fourth Reich marks day 105 that Adriana Smith is being used still as a human incubator, despite the fact that she is brain dead. Also, it is day 80 that Andre Jose Hernandez Romero and Kilmar Abrego Garcia are still in El Salvador. We also had the headlines of ICE arresting a high school student in Massachusetts just yesterday. So getting those criminals and murderers out. Doing a great job there, Trump. Also, there's been an update on the Colorado fire bombing. The suspect has been apprehended. And it's also marking increase in anti-Semitic incidents in Colorado and nationwide. But we have to juxtapose that against just how much anti-Semitism is being used as a Trojan horse for bad behavior from not only Netanyahu, but Trump and others who are trying to attack our basic rights as Americans. So again, juxtapose that against the fact that for the 3rd day in a row, Palestinians have been targeted near aid sites in Gaza. And just yesterday, 27 Palestinians were unalived. We also have Greta Thunberg is on day 3, I think, of her 7-day voyage to try to get aid into Gaza by way of the Freedom Flotilla Coalition. And so she and Liam Cunningham, who is a Game of Thrones star, are trying again. They tried in May and their boat was attacked by drone strikes from his Ray Hell. Which is unfortunate. Lindsey Graham, a South Carolina congressperson, said that he hopes Greta and her friends can swim. So we also have Trump losing his damn mind and attacking the person who is over the oh my gosh, the Federalist Society, Leonard Leo. He literally said that he realized that he was a sleazebag and he was a bad person who has his own ambitions and hates America. And so we'll see how that works out for you. So it's a bold move, Cotton. So we'll see. And then, of course, the New York Times article about Elon Musk and him juggling drugs and family drama caused him to say some absolutely crazy things to dismiss any accountability for what they have been finding in that article. And so that's it for the day. I hope this news helps you to be prepared. I hope you go forward throughout your day with these things in the back of your mind and not taking up too much. Now that you know, you can disconnect, decompress, have a wonderful rest of your day. And join me back here tomorrow for, this Chris has a thought. He says, if you hate here so much, just move out of the country. You fucking idiot. I literally just said that I did. Again, I live in the UK. That's why I'm here 5 hours into your future to give you some news on the headlines that might matter today. So hope I've done that. Thanks for following. You actually got a gifter badge, Chris, even though you're so stupid. But thanks for following. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow morning with more headlines from the future. See you guys in the AM. Goodbye. All right, you too, Twitch and YouTube and everybody. Thanks. See ya.